Hey guys, it's Justin here with Crypto News, and I just wanted to shoot this quick video because it's so important to understand what your trading strategy is when you're coming in. If you're investing in cryptos, like a crypto like SRK or any other cryptocurrency right now. Specifically in this video, we're going to talk about SRK and how I was able to make $1,000 from this trade very quickly within the last 5 minutes. Like I literally just did this trade 5 minutes ago, and I wanted to make it fresh for you so you can understand my psychology about how I've done this. Now, I'm not your financial advisor or anything like that. I'm not telling you to make these trades based on what I'm doing. I'm just a guy who invested his own money, and I found something that's worked for me, and I want to share it with you. With that being said, we're going to get into exactly how I was able to make $1,000 in one day from this currency, SRK Sparkpoint. And we'll go from there. But before we do, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another update. And you can get more trades that I get on that I'm making anywhere between $500 to $1,000 from that trade. Okay, so first of all, just to understand the psychology of what I'm doing, I'm not long-term trading these cryptos, although I do have some long-term cryptos that I have in place, one being Ether. For sure, I have money in Ether. I always set aside and put money in there. I have money in Bitcoin. I put a little bit aside for my winnings, and I put it in that for long term. But for the purpose of this video, what you have to understand is these are, day trades, and at best, swing trades, which means maybe 3 to 5 days until it hits that marker, and then I'm out of it depending on if it hits my exit point. Well, here's the deal. SRK, first of all, it's a legit cryptocurrency. Don't invest in these shit coins. Don't invest in coins that aren't going to give you, that have these parabolic spikes, but then don't do anything. And then it's just too risky, right? You want to make sure that you're invested in coins that actually have some real value that they bring to the table before considering, entering in this kind of strategy. So that being said, the next thing you want to understand is you want to understand your support and resistance lines, okay? You don't just want to get into a trade just because some guru on YouTube is a shot caller and says, hey, man, this is going to the moon, man, sound like a hippie. This is going to the moon, man. I just invest, bro. Don't do it, right? You got to understand their entry and exit points, because if you just get in and you get in at the wrong time, then you can definitely lose money very quickly, because one thing that you'll learn about cryptocurrencies, if you haven't already, they are super volatile. Okay. Sorry for that little entry, but it's very important to know that. So here's the deal. I initially got into SRK right around this time, right? I understood that it was now testing. It showed some interest. It peaked and made some really good coin. I missed out on that trade. I think it made there was a 13% ROI potential there, but I missed out on that. And then I didn't want to get into this trade, because the one thing you don't want to do is you never want to buy high and sell low, right? So never get in on a cryptocurrency that just had a nice little run, because you'll be very, very disappointed when it does this and it dips back down. You want to look for some consistency, and you want to look for some kind of some testing before getting in. So here we go. As it's going to this support line, this resistance line, and this is the support, you could see that it's not breaking, and then it's going back down, but it's not also going back down, and it's going back up. So it's really, there's this test right here, and then another test, but it never breaks this level of support here. It touches it, but it never breaks. So that's a great sign that you should get in. So at any point in time, if you had gotten into this trade, it wouldn't have been a bad trade. You just had to know your plan. Okay, I know I'm getting in because this has kind of reached its level of support and resistance, and it's about to make its move. As you can see, 1, 2, 3 times, 4 times it hits, 5 times it hits, and then it finally goes up. Now I got in, I believe I got in right here. Okay, so that's at 0.0118. Okay, now and I wrote it, and then all of a sudden it actually breaks the level of resistance and goes to the next level. Now, what I do is I'm not looking to hit these home runs. I'm not looking for these major, moon shots. I've lost so much money trying to time the market with these moon shots to get in 30, 40, 50, 60% returns. What I'm looking for is a simple 5 to 10% ROI on my money. Now, one thing I want to preface it with is I invest $10,000 on these trades. So I'm really invested, right? I'm not pulling out, until I hit that number, but I'm also exiting at about a 1 to 2% dip. So if I'm wrong, I'm not staying in this trade to see if it comes back around, because this is a very short-term based strategy, and I want to make sure that I'm keeping my profits, that I'm getting from these trades, right? So up, down, and I see that it's still not doing anything, but at the same time, I haven't really lost anything either. So I'm within that threshold of pain, and I'm willing to wait it out. And then all of a sudden, it does break. So once it got to right here, 9%, I actually exited from this trade. So I exited right around 0.01323, and I was happy. I made $900, actually more than $900, because I got in right here. What did I actually make? Hold on, I got in right here. Right, so I actually got out a lot sooner, a lot faster than that. I got out right here because I made about $900. So I got in out right here. I didn't wait for this next move because I wasn't sure if it was going down or not. And I'd already kind of just made my money, right? So I had a level of discipline. Obviously I wanted to ride it a little bit longer like anyone else and see if it hit that 14%. But that's not what I did, because you just don't know. It can come crashing back down, and then all of a sudden your profits get wiped away. Okay, you can use moving averages. I wasn't 100% looking at this all the time because I actually left the house at that time. But I did, put I did put a sell order right around here, just so that if it did hit it, and when it did hit it, it would exit. So it exited me out, which is great. So I didn't get emotional, because if I was staring at this thing, I might have tried to go a little bit further. But if I was staring at this thing, I would have definitely put a moving stop loss in place. And obviously, if it got a little bit higher, I would have increased my out, but I also wouldn't have let it go down farther. But sometimes you're there for it, sometimes you're not. And the whole purpose of what I'm doing is I don't want to be glued. Anyway, so that was I exited there. Now, the cool part was I saw that SRK was actually going up again. So I decided that I was going to get back into this trade once I saw another level of support and resistance that was being tested. And here was the second one. As it came, as the stock, the crypto increased, you could see that it first hit this line. And it didn't break it, but it went back down, and then it hit that line again. Didn't break it, went back down, but you could see that it's trying to surge to the next level of resistance to become support. So I was like, all right, cool. Let me get in right when if it doesn't break this line, I'm going to get into this trade. And that's exactly what I had it come in for at 0.013. What is that? 0.01354. Okay. And what did I do? I literally had the 10% marker right here, right around there. And I just let the trade happen, and I exited immediately. And that's exactly what I did, and I made another $1,000, just by doing that. Now, here's exactly why I do that, because this is a perfect example of what happens if you get too greedy, right? Because as I exited that trade, the wick, it continued to go higher and higher past the shadow until it was right there, and obviously I was watching it, and that could have been another $700 on top of that. But I know that when you get emotional with these things, you can lose. And what happened? As soon as I exited, boom, it drops down, and it dropped down and dropped down all the way here. So if I hadn't have exited with my initial trade exit plan, I would have lost out on that potential gain, which would have been at least another almost 4%. Oh, right here, almost 4 or 5%. Just because I wanted to try to ride it out. So you really have to come in with an exit strategy in place. You have to have a parameter that you want to set for yourself so you can come in, come out, and make your profits. This is, of course, for the day trade. This is, of course, if you just want to make your profits today. Obviously, if you're sitting on this because it is a good company, you can totally make this a long-term thing, and it won't really matter too much how long you stay into the. I mean, it doesn't matter so much about your entry point, but you obviously want to, get in at a lower point, because you're going to make more money as the crypto rises. But if you're coming in like me, just looking to make, the $500,000 a day mark, then that's kind of what you have to do. You have to set yourself with rules. And if you don't, then you're gonna suffer. And as you can see right here, you can lose out on potential profits if you're not diligent about your rules and sticking to them. Well, that's it. This is exactly how I was able to make almost $1,000+ Actually, I made over $2,000 on this trade from this one, and then exiting, and then I'm sorry, this one exiting and then getting out, entering and then exiting, and then again entering again and then exiting. So that being said, if you got value from this, make sure to like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so I can show you other trades that I'm getting in and getting out of that is making me money. And if I show you how I'm making money, my hope is that you'll be able to do the same when you do your own research on the currencies that you feel good about, that you've researched. All right, take care, like, share, subscribe, notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Peace.